Hello, I'm Emma, and I wanted to talk you through really quickly this Berkana Two Loop Model, which is a model for describing systems change and imagining systems change that I've been using a lot recently with organizations. This diagram is taken from a website called The Moment, and the concept is by the Berkana Institute, and it's based on the theory that all living systems decline and then also grow. And what you can see here at the top is a dominant system, the system that we're in at the moment, which is starting to decline. Now, this system is working well for some, not for others. And there's another system which is possible, and that's the emergent system. So the emergent system here is a system, if you like, which has the opportunity to take over and become the system of influence. And we, whoever you're doing this with or how you're using this, have an opportunity to create that system and to imagine and dream about what it could be like. In fact, that's our obligation, if you like. And what you'll see here is that the emergent system is actually made up from things which are starting to happen in the dominant system. So as the dominant system starts to decline, we notice that there are pioneers. There are echoes of the future, if you like, of that emergent system that we want to create. You can see that there are already signs happening. And in stimulating the emergent system, what we can do is name the pioneers, so identify them and find them, connect them, first into networks, and then more broadly into communities of practice, who we nourish through time and resources. And then illuminate is a part the Berkana Institute talks about, where you're telling the stories about what's happening, giving people the confidence and the courage that they can move over to the emergent system and that things feel safe there. And then also to influence, the dominant system. And this is based on the theory, and I'll give you a little quote from Meg Wheatley and Deborah Fries. They say, in spite of popular slogans, the world doesn't change one person at a time. It changes as people interact and work together. So this is based on the idea of finding and joining people together and ideas together so that the emergent system can emerge. There are a couple of things that I really like about this. So when I use this, there are several questions that I get people to ask. The first one is about the vision of the emergent system. This isn't a question, this can be something much more embodied and creative and imaginative. What are the characteristics of the emergent system that we want to create? And then that gives us an opportunity to think, well, what does it look and feel like? And where do we see this future already emerging? And that is often where we see the pioneers. Then another important question is, that's the pioneers. What's holding the dominant system in place? This is here. What mental models or power dynamics or incentives are underpinning the current system? Who's got the incentive to keep things as they are? But also, who's this change going to be hard for? And you'll see here that there's a specific reference to the hospice work, which is really important, acknowledging and talking about the fact that the decline of a system can be really hard for people. And then lastly, what do we want to bring with us and what do we want to leave behind? So this approach also is incredibly appreciative, I find, both in terms of identifying the pioneers and in terms of this concept of composting. What rich, great stuff from the dominant system do we want to bring with us to create the compost from which the emergent system can grow? But also, what do we actually want to let go of? What's not serving us and should be left behind? So I'm using this model at different scales at the moment, with organizations, as well as how you want to see the world. And I think it's beautiful in terms of those sorts of fractals. I've written a little article with a little bit more detail, and there are some great other resources on there, which I will share. Thank you.